I feel like any artist or creative that's in the industry of music, modeling, fashion, it has a lot of challenges. I mean, for one, it's a business.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's up, y'all? You know what it is. This is Lady Miz from the Ground Up Productions, and there's only one way to go from here. I have the beautiful and talented Vanessa, also known as VeVe C, in the building. Vanessa is a rising star, y'all. If you don't know her, you better get to know her because she is everywhere, okay? But she is not just a rapper. She's a model. She's an entrepreneur. She is a young woman determined to carve her own lane. Period. And make sure people know what time it is when they see her pulling up. So what's good, girlfriend? And thank you for coming back on.
Yeah, that intro was crazy. I'm gonna use that for mine. Like, she's the ultimate. Yeah, she's that.
Well, listen, you are, and I gotta give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been doing your thing. And shout out to my daughter, Soraya Alexis.
Soraya, that's my girl.
Yeah, she's the one who told me about you. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's how I ended up meeting you. So I love what you're doing. I love everything that you got going on. I love your energy, okay? I love your energy. But I want to talk about, first, before we start, tell people where you're from, but where you reside right now.
Well, I always rep Jersey 845, originally from Bergen County. We run deep. I was born in Inglewood. Okay. The same hospital that John Travolta was born in.
Oh, okay.
And the mic, I'm gonna bring it down. And my family is from Teaneck. So even though I haven't lived in Jersey as long as I did in a town called New Windsor, which is right next to Newburgh, and I've grown up there since I was almost 4 years old. But Jersey has always been like my home, my childhood, where like my cousins were like my best friends. Okay, we were always just we were. I mean, I was in a different era, so I'm a baby millennial. 1996. Okay. So I kind of got the best of both worlds between the era that, we were always outside. Like when I say outside, I mean like we were, but the phones were very slim.
The real outside.
Yeah, like I would play kickball in the front yard with, my family and friends and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Where my family late at night would be playing spades and I'm hearing them cursing. I'm trying to figure out what they cursing about, and now I know why they cursing. I don't want to get into all that.
Okay. Don't play with the spades. I know we don't play that as black people.
Right. And of course I lived in Hackensack in my baby years before we moved upstate. And yeah, I rep Jersey 845. They're both part of what I feel has created my my aura, as you say.
Yes.
And, I'm just super grateful to be like, when you take everything in and everything is just happening the way it is, and it's just like, oh wow.
Right, because a lot is happening for you right now, which is
so much.
Well deserved. You're putting in the hard work and you are getting the benefits from that. So I think that's dope. Absolutely. Tell us where you got your name from. Where did that come from?
So I'm gonna tell you this. So obviously my nickname VeVe C. It's the easiest explanation. Okay. So my name is Vanessa, right? My family has always called me V or VeVe when I was a baby. I think the question was more so where the spelling came from, because at the time, I mean, like my family's always called me that, but I was always trying to figure out how to, I guess when I was navigating into like my music aura of things and trying to figure out how to brand myself as an artist, I always liked VeVe for some reason. It just clicked for me. But I was trying to figure out, because at the time I think my uncle Raj, shout out to him, he was the one that always called me VeVe, but I never really understood the spelling of it. So I felt like at the time VeVe sounded like what it was spelled, but I felt like it was just too many E's. So I was like, and then I felt like 2 V's was just too generic for me. I felt like it was just, I didn't want just 3 letters for my my nickname. Okay. So I was like, okay, if I did VeVe, maybe give it like a French twist or something, then I can make it make sense. Okay. C is the initial of my last name, Cheatham. So I was like, okay, VeVe C. Oh, shoot, that rhymes. Oh,
so wow. You put it all together. VeVe C. There we go. Okay. So before you started doing music, you were modeling first. Now, I know we did the Making It in the 845, and we spoke to you about that. So y'all go check out that interview.
Make sure you look it up and save it.
Yes. And go check it out, because we're not going to get deep into that. But I just want people to know that you do model, but I do still want you to tell people, okay, you model and you hosted an event. I think it was called Bling
Boss.
Bling Boss. Right.
Oh, my goodness, what a time.
Yes. So that's entrepreneur moves right there, and that's your business, correct?
Mm-hmm, so still is Blame Boss organization. Right. Technically, it was founded in 2021. Actually, wait, maybe even before that. No, it was definitely before that. 2019, actually.
2019.
But I never got it legalized as the LLC until 2021, which was when we did the fashion show. And of course, during COVID, we had to postpone it a couple times, and that was a whole mess of things. The motivation behind that was really just because I know outside of my creative era, I always wanted to give back to the community, but I always felt like my time was limited to, be outside and, do different like fundraisers and organizational events to really I just love seeing kids happy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Just making an impact in the community, seeing people that are less fortunate, those that don't really have. And I want to be a staple to that. And nice. I felt like, because I have this creative background between, the music, the modeling, arts, and honestly, I just say creative because I really do a lot of things even outside of that. I just wanted to really like incorporate something with my humanitarian aspect of things, with my creativity, and be able to make some form of organization or something out of it where other people can kind of build and have their own legacy in that. And I'm a rhinestone girl. I love rhinestones. It's just something about me and rhinestones. And I was like, oh, bling, and I'm a boss. Hey, bling boss. And that's how that came out.
BB and VeVe C. Okay, it all goes together. So now you come from a family of musicians, right? Your dad, what I'm saying?
Record.
Okay, you already know.
In the cave.
So they're in the building, you know what I'm saying? We actually got the legends in the building. We got the pioneers of hip hop in the building. Goodness. So we're going to chop it up with them. But I want you to tell me, what is it like coming from, a family like your dad who, was rapping, had his group out, was signed to a record label. You was around that. Tell me what that was like.
Very humbling. I mean, I've been around this. Like, even as a baby, I remember even 3 years old, I'm hearing my dad spin, and we have like a whole vinyl collection of like.
Right.
I mean, if you say the vinyl record 9 times out of 10, I'm sure my dad definitely has it.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Just watching him, just being a young kid and just being around him, doing his vinyl mixes and just meeting a lot of legendary people that he grew up with, and just being able to be, and that's really where my main influence came from anyways, doing the music. And I've always been inspired by that. Okay. But of course, as a young kid, I just loved it because it was just fun.
Right.
So it was just natural for me to be around that. But to now being a grown adult and being able to kind of continue that legacy that, my dad was able to create for himself and his family of things is definitely humbling. And when you really think about it, it's actually kind of emotional because it's like there was a period where I just felt like I would not be doing this. Sometimes you overthink so much and you start to second guess whether or not you're fit for, well, at least me specifically for music, fit for it. There was a time I felt like my music was just not well equipped from what I'm used to hearing. Even times I've been told that my music was trash, which like I said,
everything ain't for everybody, honey. Exactly. So listen, you got to find your target audience and focus on them. Okay, because you can't please everybody.
Yeah, and also, but saying that, like that period of that moment had me reflect on what I truly wanted to do. Okay, and what I needed to work on if I wanted to do it, and my passion for it grew more and more and more as I started doing more songwriting, because I was always songwriting since I was like, I would say 7.
Oh wow!
But, yeah, I got like a whole songbook binder of everything.
Oh, do you still got the book?
I do.
Oh snap!
The paint binder. I have everything in there. It's crazy. Dad even got some old recordings of me. I'd rather him not play it, but that's another conversation for another time. Hopscotch.
You're gonna have to do that on the 3rd interview. We're gonna have to see.
Man. I think by the time we get to that one, yeah.
Now you are very lucky because you have an in-home studio as well too, and you have your little brother over there,
Shauna
V, that is producing now. Does he produce all your tracks?
Yeah. So honestly, the first time I actually did a recording for what the release recordings, I should say, was Breeze, the very first song, and he was 13 at the time that he produced it and that we recorded it. No, he was 13.
Wait, Breeze. Did I see that video? Did you do the video? Because you got a music video.
Strong. He produced it.
Yes. That was a good video. I like that video. Yeah. Yes, nice.
And it was crazy because when my brother, so this was during the time that I didn't even know my brother was really doing any of the producing stuff, but he was also a creative kid. He always played the piano since he was, a baby and stuff. Okay. But one day I was coming out of my room and I'm walking past my brother's room and I'm hearing the Breeze instrumental that y'all know now. And I'm like, oh, that sounds catchy. What YouTube link is that? Because I'm so used to like the YouTube sounds and stuff.
Right,
and I'm like, where'd you get that from? My brother was like, I made it. I was like, man, no, you didn't.
You ain't believe it. No, you was sleeping on little bro. That's what it was.
I guess I was. But just imagine being 13. 13 is crazy. And the sounds and I mean, that's not the only sound he had at 13, as far as what I learned. But just hearing his talent with the sounds that he made at such a young age was so inspiring for me. And that added my passion even more. That honestly, even though I did always have a passion for music, it wasn't up until my brother showed me the Breeze instrumental where I was like, okay, no, we got to do this. It's time.
Right. Okay.
And ever since then, we've been taking off with all that. Taking off. Yo.
Taking off. There we go. All right.
You're taking off.
That's it.
Taking off. Shout out to Gia.
So, what would you say? Okay, so I know you from Jersey. You reside in the 845 now. Would you say that either one of them shaped you more as an artist?
Yeah, equally. Well, Jersey, I felt like was kind of like my family base, my home. Where like even I just recently went back to the old neighbor, 1172. Catherine Street. I'm giving out too much information now, but
yeah. Don't tell them too much.
And nobody lives there right now, so it's free information. But it was my old grandparents' home, my dad's side of things, and I just remember, like, it's just, it's kind of hard to explain because it was just an experience. Like, I'm fortunate to even be able to say that because I know a lot of people didn't have that family experience or even like support of that matter. And not only I have family support, but I really was able to grow up having fun as a child with my family members and just being able to enjoy the fruits of my family's labor and stuff.
Right.
And that's always been a nature, and I think that's why I feel like I have a humbling spirit because even though I've definitely felt like I had a rich lifestyle just based off how I grew up, we grew up humbly. Like everything we do, we worked hard for. This wasn't like, oh, you can, have all of what I have and then you just splurge. Like I was grateful where I was able to get passed down things where it gave me a head start, but I elevated that even further to push, where I'm at now. And then of course, like being the 845, well, I say New Windsor because that's where I live, but between Newburgh, Middletown, Poughkeepsie, the whole area, even down the White Plains,
the Hudson Valley area.
New York,
right. Yes,
I lived here the majority of my life, so even though I always talk about Jersey being in my innate spirit. 845 played definitely a factor in my music, and where I started off doing performances, where I started off doing my modeling, which is another factor we could talk about. And I'm just grateful, very grateful. And Jersey 845 is always going to be a part of me. 201 845. Yeah.
All right. So tell me about some of the challenges that you face in this industry when it comes to you as a model, as an entrepreneur, and as an artist.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I feel like any artist or creative that's in the industry of music, modeling, fashion, it has a lot of challenges. I mean, for one, it's a business, and I think for a lot, especially for a lot of artists and even models of things, and anyone in that field of things, when you start to see the result, it's rewarding, because when you see how it could be like glamorous, like, okay, for example, because I'm going to talk about the modeling aspect now, talking about the music aspect. So when I was a young girl, I've always been the creative of all creatives, but I felt like out of all the things I've done, modeling has been the most natural for me to do, or at least as far as getting into. And to start off with the modeling, I did my very first, I wouldn't say first, but my first shows I've done being a fashion model was in Newburgh. So my model career pretty much started in the hometown Newburgh. And I know I did the Purple Butterfly show with Veronica in 2016 that catapulted that. But it wasn't until 2018 where we had our first Newburgh Illuminated, which I was very fortunate to be a part of, where I was able to really catapult my modeling career seriously. I was able to branch that off into eventually when I started doing shows in 2019 at the time with VeVe modeling agency, and did the fashion shows there, where I was starting to do like more of your upscale European shows where you would see on like New York Fashion Week and those natures of things, where I was able to really branch off and even incorporate a little bit of the entrepreneur side of things, which I eventually created Bling Boss from. But yeah, behind the scenes it's very, I mean, when I think about it, although I was able to really, do it, it had its challenges because the pressure, right?
What type of pressure are we talking about?
It's like, it's kind of hard to put into words. So,
are we talking about from the people, the expectations, just the work that goes behind it?
It's a lot, because when you see it from point front view, it looks amazing. Like, you got the cameras, you got the paparazzi, you got, the pictures, you got the runway, and just being able to just walk it and, work your favorite outfit and, wear your favorite foot, or music wise, where I'm able to be on stage and have, all the people watching to support you, or just watching to see what you're going to do. And just being able to like do your thing on the mic and kill the stage is definitely a monumental experience. But behind the scenes, the work you have to put in, people don't really talk about the hustle behind it. I mean, even going as far as the logistics behind copywriting. I mean, that's like the most important thing I talk about, at least music wise, because modeling is like a whole separate thing, but it's still in the same theme. And talking about, what songs work for, what projects, and, of course, the critics. I mean, now, critics going to say what they say, and I do actually appreciate the critics, because it helped me grow into the artist I am now, and being able to utilize that feedback and not see it as criticism, but see it as maybe a form of feedback that may help me, or I just use it as my fan base blow up, like, remember when you said this? Oh yeah, people said this, but I'm here and stuff. But yeah, there's been a lot of challenges, and like I said, I was talking before about the self-doubt and how I felt like I was overthinking myself, because there'll be times where like I would even mentally compare myself to other artists, and I'm like, I'm not good enough. I don't sound like that. I don't sound, to me, aesthetic enough to be taken seriously. I mean, I felt like I was the underdog, and I still till this day actually feel like that. But then I really felt like I just did not have what it took to really catapult in the music industry, until, of course, my brother took on the producing stuff. And when I heard Breeze, and when we did Breeze, that's the first time I actually saw a little bit of light and said, okay, I think I could do this.
Let me ask you, do you feel, I mean, it sounds like you might be saying this, but I don't want to assume. Do you feel like other people's opinion about you was holding you back from actually stepping out and doing what you want to do, what you believe in, as far as, the music and stuff?
Yes and no. I felt like the opinion had me question, I guess, how to go about things, but it didn't stop me from doing it. Because if that's the case, I wouldn't be here, talking to you from the Ground Up Productions.
Right.
But it definitely has built my character. I definitely will say that even though during that time it was a bit of a foggy period, a lot of other things happened surrounding it. I mean, this is talking about, I think I was from teenager to, I want to say, I don't even know. I'll just say 21 just to throw a number in there.
Okay.
Was when I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I really wanted to figure out, okay, I do love music. Music is my passion, but is this a business that I want to really pursue and, carry on? But obviously, it's part of my legacy. And I felt like it's something that I wanted to carry, even going further down legacy, moving forward with, my potential kids wanting to do that.
Okay.
And that's always been the back burner. And also seeing my dad, DJ Sean, my brother Navi, and, just all the surrounding counterparts of my family just being there to support me, which I've been forever grateful for. I couldn't stop.
Okay.
So no opinion was going to ever stop me from doing what I was doing. But it did make me hesitate, and it made me really think about what I was doing before moving forward with what I'm doing now.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. Is there any project, album, or single that you feel represents you the most?
Ooh, I always wanted that question to be asked. Wow. So, okay, I'm going to give you maybe top 3 because I feel so my music is very versatile. So I'm trying to without, being a little kind of off about it. So Breeze, I did say it's my first song. I felt like it's the first song I would say has built my character, but it was because it was a reflection, which is ironically the next project I have, but I'll talk about that in a second. A reflection of what I went through during the period of high school and what I've grown and learned from that experience in high school. Obviously when you're in high school, you got friendships that, at least as a girl, and unfortunately in my scenario, I had a best friend, fallout and then drama. And unnecessary drama, which of course I play a factor of, which I count to this day. And Breeze, I was really reflecting on where my mind was at, and even the part where I was talking about the diary I wrote. I'm ugly, I'm skinny. These are different words that I was called. I'm pretty, hair, whatever, and just being able to reflect back and say, but you know what? I'm not her. I'm not her anymore. I've changed, and I know I could do more than what I've experienced. And I felt like Breeze was therapeutic. I mean, generally speaking, when you think of the word breeze, you think of wind, you think of air, fresh air. So I really wanted to incorporate that sound.
So we're talking about Breeze.
Yeah.
And Breeze is, that's the song, the album that really represents who you are and what you've been through, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about how you feel or why you feel it's important to also build a brand outside of music, because you also do modeling.
Yeah, fashion model. Even acting, anything creative plus, the outside things I like to just be involved in, very community based. My 9 to 5, I do, customer service. So I like to do communicative work. But yeah, it's very important. I mean, I tell this to everyone. I mean, whatever you're interested in that you put yourself into, whether it be something of what I do or even being a doctor, being a lawyer, and anything of that nature, you really want to really think about the plan for self-investment. And that's something I've actually learned over time, and why I wanted to eventually minor in business, because business, when you hear the word business, you think, besides the LLC of things and, what you do, like whether it be a food business, whether it be an organizational business or something like clothing business, things like that, you also have to think about self and really just have whether it be your main plan and you're fortunate enough to be able to make a living off yourself, or if you're just starting out where you have to do your 9 to 5 like me, just cleaning up whatever debt and trying to just start fresh. to invest in yourself. I mean, I know a lot of people do stocks. A lot of people get into like, your Bitcoins and Robinhoods and
the NFTs and all of that stuff, right?
All that stuff.
Yes.
Funny enough, I'm still learning about that a little
Me
bit.
too. You know what? Let me tell you. I was trying to do it, and then I just stopped. And then Bitcoin, I was just like, this is too complicated. Okay,
Coinbase.
I was trying to get Nas's NFT, and I could not get Nas stuff. It sold out as soon as it hit the market. It was ridiculous. I was like, damn. But
and then you have to. The timing is what's tricky about it too, because it could be hot one moment, and then if you get it at the wrong time, where it's kind of just like market off, or something might happen in the media where it affects like Tesla. There was a certain period where Tesla was like at its highest, and then with current events, it kind of went.
Okay,
and it's like. If your timing ain't right, you can lose a lot in that. So it's tricky.
We learned that doing Bitcoin. When we got in it, we thought, okay, it's been on the market, but it's not that popular.
Yeah.
But for some reason, as soon as we got in it, I mean, I lost like $10,000 in a week. After investing, I was like, I'm not doing Bitcoin no more. But you know what I learned though?
Yeah.
Never invest nothing that you're not willing to lose.
Right.
The market goes up and down no matter what. And you can't let that make you be afraid to be, you know what I mean? Sometimes things happen and people get scared and it stops them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got to just learn from it and then adjust. Would you say that you learned that in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, the industry and, also, I mean, obviously my family. And also, I think just my self-experience in general, even outside the industry, if I'm talking about like my daily of things, like, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of started when I went to LIU, Brooklyn. Hey, in 2014, my mindset at the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just was not in the right mental headspace going to college in the time I did.
Okay.
Because maybe it was because I was still kind of like mourning off of the high school stuff, even though I was able to graduate and do all of that top 20%. It still was just a foggy period for me. And honestly, I can't explain why exactly, besides whatever the ending of high school was, merging into college. Everything was just fast paced.
Okay.
And of course, I wanted to make my family proud going to college and being able to get my degree so that I can move forward with what I'm doing with my life. But honestly, I just was not in the mental headspace, at least academically at the time. Especially since being in high school, I was always an A student and, 4.0s and all of that. And I wanted to go to college and in a time period where I knew I was mentally ready for it, which I eventually went back after my mom passed in 2021. That was during the period where I started learning about debt. Tuition is crazy.
Oh, God.
I got lucky. Thanks, Dad. I got lucky because he put me on the partial scholarship. He helped me out with all of that. But
okay, all right.
That's when I actually first, the reason why I was saying that is because that's when I first started learning about the debt and really started learning about the business 101 of things, because I didn't want to be the person in debt, at least like over 10K type of debt, and be stuck with that, or at least be a victim of a lot of people that got that kind of issue. So I really wanted to learn about self-investment, being able to just clear it off and really focused on that. So I think the industry definitely was something where I kind of learned a little bit more about it, but I feel like my experience really came from when I was in high school, going into college, and really just trying to figure it out on my own. Even though I wasn't on my own, I was on my own, trying to do things independently for myself, kind of thing.
Well, let me ask you this, because that I know that it's difficult. You have your father, which is great. You have your brother. And I know this is sensitive, and I know we spoke about this before, but do you feel like with going through all of that, it affects you any way of not having your mom around, since, the passing, and it was during the whole COVID situation? Mm-hmm. How does that affect you?
It's crazy, because it's like I guess I'm the type of person where it's like, I know life is temporary, and everything in life is temporary, including ourselves. So it's like, I try not to, I don't want to say dwell, because I don't want to use that word, but I try not to have my mother's death as a setback for me. But yeah, emotionally and mentally, I was definitely internally struggling with it, at least for a while, because even though me and my mom's relationship wasn't as physically strong as it was speaking terms and, emotional side of things. My mom, she was like my feminine spirit. I got my soft era girl from my mom, and, being able to talk to her every day, 4 hours a day, and just really just going through life, even talking to her about unnecessary stuff. And, just as a mother-daughter bond, and just being able to do that. And, my mother's death has taught me a lot, but it's certain things I already kind of knew before my mother's death. Obviously, life is short. You got to really do everything you put your mind to that you can, and not, overwhelm yourself in fear of that.
Yes.
But my mother's death has gave me the motivation to continue. And that was, when I went back to college, going to SUNY until this day, I'm still there, to finish off what I wanted to do at LIU. And,
it's okay. Lotto back there. We got the audience studio in the background. They giving us that background music. It's all good.
But yeah, COVID was definitely a hard period, I know, for everyone, because it definitely was a year where a lot of things has changed, even technology wise, and just how we just move. Like now we're doing Zooms and classes online, and it was just a lot. But
right my
mom was a unique situation, because she actually didn't die from COVID itself, but from what we suspect from the Moderna vaccine. And she did have experiences with kidney disease. I know when I was working at MDINR in 2017 was when she was diagnosed with, I think, either stage 3 or merging into stage 4 for kidney disease. So of course, being paranoid, I'm like, okay, let me learn about this kidney disease. What's the life expectancy? And it's saying 5 years without the transplant and all of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what am I going to do? So of course I'm like bonding with my mom more and more and more, working toward doing the transplant. She was actually doing very well. She wasn't able to get it, of course, because she had other things going on, other complications of things. But when that COVID came, and when the vaccine situation happened, everything just kind of I don't even know what happened. It just all happened so fast. And when that happened, it was just it was weird, very numb. It's like, when you feel so numb and stuck.
Yeah, because you can't, it doesn't feel like it's real. You feel like you're in a dream, right?
And
like
the ironic thing you said that, because literally a week before my mother's death, I remember the night of April 21st, I had an exact dream of what ended up happening a whole week later. But it was like in dream world. So it was like from being in the office and then getting a call that, your mother is dying, and then having to drive all the way. Well, in my dream, it kind of just jumped into the cutscene, but it was hard. It was hard, but it definitely has also motivated me to pursue and really just do it.
Right. Absolutely. Just go for yours. That's what you're supposed to do. So since you're going for yours, tell us about any upcoming projects that you have coming out before you step into that creator's box and do what you do.
So, oh my goodness. So I'm going to just first say this. There's so many different. So first of all, and give again, shout out to Home Cave Records, DJ Sean Navi. We're doing a lot of things, including the joint project that I'm doing with GM, of course, called The Cave Era, which will be coming out, anticipated next week, May 9th. I say anticipate because, things happen. So, I want to say May 9th. We're going to lock it in. But, just in case y'all like, okay, it's not released yet. What's going on? I wanted to throw that out there. But there's going to be, so it is I don't know if it's 5 songs, but it's definitely a project that's going to have a mix of GM and I on there. And I hope y'all. 6. Okay,
it'll be 6.
There we go.
He got it. That's manager over there.
I knew how to be 5.
He holding it down. He got all of the Rolodex.
I lost count after 4, so I was like, maybe 5 is too much, but I don't know. I can't count today. But so yeah, no, we have that as a project. I know we have my Reflection album, which is funny. I'm explaining this. So Reflection is kind of like a continuation of. So the first album I have out right now is VeVeology, that has Breeze on there.
Okay, all right.
And Reflection is a continuation.
Oh, VeVeology, that's right. You had the physical CDs for that one too, right?
Sure do.
Yes, because I got it upstairs. That's right, girl. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. VeVeology, when you think of ology, it's a science or art of something.
Yes.
So I said, oh, VeVe, and I think my dad and my brother collectively helped me create that name too. Well, yeah. In the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he did create that. But yeah, so the Reflection is actually going to become a 2-part album of things, but it's gonna, when I say reflection album, it is one album, but we kind of broke it up into 2 different albums because the aesthetic of one part of the album is kind of more of like the, I guess, fun side, the more like hip hop. Okay, like Beginning to an End is the first song of Reflection 1, which will be coming out this year.
Okay. Do you have a month in mind, or you're not sure yet?
I will say the summer we're anticipating it, but I don't have a month yet. I'm sure that's gonna come probably in weeks.
Okay,
like, I would say even a couple weeks of things. Yeah, Reflection Part 1.
Sure, you're on Reflection, but we plan to have it out by the summer. Hopefully by the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely 2025 though. That's for sure. We could definitely lock in the year.
All right. So that's what we have to look forward to for your upcoming project.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, like I said, Reflection. I mean, I love VeVeology. Obviously, VeVeology is like my staple base. But Reflection, I'm telling you, you're gonna get versatility. You're gonna get some songs, some singles that came out of that includes Beginning to an End, Birthday Twin, Up From Here, and even my newest single, Pume, which which is my now hit that I anticipate to set the stage and whatnot.
Yes.
But there's going to be a lot of songs that's definitely going to fit into the aesthetic of hip hop, club, house, and kind of that nature. And then as we get into the Reflection 2, it gets more of the emotional side where I talk a little bit more about certain things in my life, including my mother's death, including my family in general, my brother, my dad, and all the other events in between. But then you get some fun, cute, like I would say H&M type sounds as well.
Okay.
Some music sounds that I have not introduced yet, which I'm super excited to do because I really want to show the world of my versatility and that, I'm not just the girl that does hip hop and the girl that, could rap and sing. Like, no, like,
well-rounded.
I like to do it all. I mean, even rock. I like rock music too.
It's okay. No, you can say it with pride, honey. Say it with pride. Ain't nothing. When you love music, see, that's the thing. Sometimes people think you got to be in a box. You don't.
No,
because when you are a creator yourself, you can appreciate all different sounds.
I do.
You find the beauty in everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I think you were definitely meant for this. I mean, because I seen you perform and your energy is A+, okay? I mean, listen, I love your energy, your vibe. Like, you know how to move and interact with the crowd, so you definitely be doing it. Yes.
You know why? Because I love the crowd. Because the crowd, I feel like when you were talking about target audience, which I'm actually still, not that I'm figuring out, because I think I have an idea of pretty much the target audience that I'm going for, but the reason why I hesitate just slightly is because my music is so versatile. It honestly can hit any target on, and not to I'll give you an example. I have a song like Beginning to an End. It would target more of your hip hop crowd, the crowd that likes the harder, rough hip hop. If they like my aesthetic sound, and then you have your Birthday Twin that might hit the clubs, like your New York City high scale type clubs, with a little bit of a hip hop influence. But then you have another song, try to think off the top of my head, like
the partnership we made with Sky.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get into that. But yeah, like songs like Breeze, where it's kind of like more mellow tone. It's kind of those who, just want to feel good and just really just get into like their zen and not get all raunchy. But then I have raunchy music where you got like your what's a raunchy song I have? No,
I can't take it. When Dad say all of them, hey, listen.
I'm like,
okay. So basically, the bottom line is you have something for everybody.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, you have something for everybody. I think that's super dope. Okay,
I do, and that's why I say I'm hesitating, because the Reflection album's not yet out yet, and also there's a few singles even outside the Cave Era project with GM. There's other singles and other songs that's not part of any of these projects, including when my dad was introducing Cheers to You.
Okay, yeah.
Which I was very fortunate and very happy to even say. This is crazy. Ladies of Sky, which is a staple off of Sky, the group from I think 1970s. It was like a 1970 era.
Call Me.
Here's to You, Call Me, Let's Celebrate.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's celebrate. Yes. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. nice.
Performed with them back in December.
Yeah. Beautiful. Where was that
It
at?
was a gala. My dad's fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, they had a gala in December that Ladies of Sky was, hosting. Why am I saying hosting? They were performing for the night. But I was able to jump in
and do
a version.
Got you.
Yeah, here's to you. We're actually currently working on getting the clearance. So obviously we did get the approval from Sky. We also got the approval from the manager as well and stuff. But we're still working on the copyrights of things because the writer, we still gotta be in communication with him.
Okay.
It's different than it's somebody else other than.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you got to do your due diligence. Okay. Yeah. I hear that.
For the release, we have permission to do it.
Right.
The release is kind of where we're at right now.
Okay,
but that I know for a fact is going to be definitely one of the summer songs. Like definitely fun. Jersey. Jersey.
Okay, Jersey in the building. Listen, well, let us know. You got to keep us posted. Let us know. We need to know what's going on. I got two more questions for you before you get in that box. Tell me if there's anything that you can change in this industry, what would it be?
Does it have to be one?
No, give me whatever comes to mind.
Now I think about maybe I should have wrote down a list of things because for one, okay, I'll be very specific, right? So, yeah, right. I'm gonna be very specific. So this is like an era-based question because if you're talking from the era of my dad, or you're talking in the era of those that had to physically go to the label offices and physically give out copies and do that. We're not necessarily in that era. We still get touches of it, of course, but it's very digital. Very, 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 very digital. God. And I say that because like I noticed that when I do a lot of my collaborative work, and shout out to Bags of Motion, Tammy, that's my girl. We do a lot of collaborative work with, other talents, and they always when she took me on being an artist and was able to kind of like help me catapult into a different range of audience to like put my music and stuff out there. I was able to get another world of kind of what the industry in this era look like. Okay. And the reason why I say digital is because so I'm New York based, right? So a lot of the events I have done was in New York, but I feel like for some reason, New York is like worldwide. When you go on your Instagrams, you go on your Reels, you see nothing but the influencers I'm friends with on IG going viral. Including Jay Messiah, and then Shadow the dog. I would have to see it, child. I don't know.
And listen, even Lotto, he be like, I be like, I don't know if I see it maybe, but my brain. Honey, please.
Yeah.
But it got too much stuff on it.
A lot of influencers I'm seeing going viral are the very influencers that I was able to network with and even become cool with, all because I'm outside, doing all the networking things and doing it with Bags of Motion as kind of like my my step off from what I was doing previously. But anyway, so to change a few things, sorry y'all, I feel like it's very easy to go viral. It seems like it's even easier to just be an artist, but not everyone. Let me just put it like this. So anybody could be an artist, obviously. When you put a song out and you put your voice to it, it's a song. And essentially you are an artist because that's your sound and that's the song. But I feel like it's all starting to sound the same. And the formula is starting to become a little redundant in a way, and it's not something that I would complain about because, like I said, every era or time is going to have a trend. Right. I think that's what I want to say, trend. And if the trend is popular, okay, if you go into your 90s, if you go into your 80s and 90s, if you go into your 80s of things, hip hop was poo, pa-cha, poo, poop, cha. And a lot of it was a lot more versatile, but a lot of the sound was kind of just like do that, do that for like your hip hop. You go into your 90s, you start to merge into your like West Coast sound and merge into the East Coast sound, like your Biggie and Tupac. So a lot of and Ice Cube. So a lot of the sounds you get from that is kind of like more like boom, da, boom, 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 da, boom, boom. You know, like that era of things, you know, that I appreciate. You go into today, I guess it has like a blend of all the sounds from the previous eras, but it's starting to sound like that one sound goes viral. We all know what that sound is. Boop, 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 boop. And sometimes it's even slowed down in a way.
So everybody's the same.
Everyone's sound is aesthetically the same, and the voice.
Yes. So there's no originality in music.
It doesn't feel that
today.
way. And that's what I don't want to put. And the reason why I say I'm versatile in my sounds, for one, I'm not going to put myself in the box because I've never been that person anyways. Okay. But also, two, it's going to be hard to market myself into a sound that everyone has already done or is doing that's kind of catapulting into that. You know, it works for some because, like I said, when you're doing collaborative work and you outside, you know, you hustling. Yeah, then you deserve it. But when it starts to sound the same, it's like, okay, what's next? What are we doing? What's the
They gotta switch it up.
What's the switch up? And I want to be the person to kind of introduce that switch up. I want to be the one to be like, I could get a taste of that, but mix it with this, and you put it together, and you got VeVe C new song coming type thing. So that's one thing I would definitely change for sure is bring back the originality that we had in your 80s, 90s, even going further down. But if we're thinking current times, even the 2000s, I mean, pop and rock was at its highest. I'm telling you, like, those eras that I grew up with and just I mean, obviously, because being around my family, my dad, and being all around that music of things, but also even just generally speaking, just all the different genres and sounds that we had in that time was just so special that even till this day we play it. I want that timeless music back. I want the timeless music where we can have different versatile sounds. Everyone is doing their own thing. We could come together and listen to all the different sounds, and it's just equally as catchy. But the tricky part is because the previous eras was so good, what makes this era different from that where it could still be that good? Which is, you know, it's a tricky conversation. There's definitely something to really think about, though. Okay. But I do want to say all the artists that are doing their thing, even if it does sound the same, y'all doing y'all big one, and you know, just keep doing your thing. But that's definitely something I would want to change. If there was one thing I would say, there's like a few other things too, but the business behind the scenes, but you know.
So mainly the business. Okay, all right. So, last question. Look into the camera and give.
Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
This one is yours right here. That one's directly on you.
Okay.
Give us advice that you would give to a young girl coming up who wants to get into the same thing as you. A little girl. I want to be a model. I want to be, you know, an actor. I want to be a rapper and a singer. What would you say to her?
First thing, definitely do your research. I mean, and that's not to say like, oh, look up how to be a model. And the reason why I say research is because it's always good to be knowledgeable about what you need to do the role that you want to try. So like, for example, and it's funny you said that. I did get asked this question for someone, so that's why it's crazy you're saying that. When you're in modeling, when you're starting off in modeling, the first thing you want to do is make sure, for one, you have your portfolio set and headshots, you know, like the professional pictures, no selfies. Do not do selfies. I'm telling you. It's crazy how many times I've actually seen it in person that people actually put selfies on their comp cards, and I was so shocked. But, you know, like I said, when you're not knowing of anything and that nature, it's understandable. But that's why the first thing I would say to anyone that's looking to do something is do your research, at least as far as what you need and what's the expectations behind it. If you're getting into business, you want to look into logistics, the wins and losses in that. And then just, you know, go for it, but be very cautious with how you go for it. Like, don't just blindly jump in and say, oh yeah, okay, I want to be a model. Let me just wear my sneakers and wear my tank top, and then I'm gonna just do it. But when you go to the casting call, it's like you need to wear all black. You need to wear 6-inch heels, the 4-inch kitty cat, those little 2-3-inch kitties. It's not gonna work. And then they were like, wait, I came out and I tried. You know, it's not good enough. I was like, well, we're in a difficult world. We're in a world where, you know, you have to have thick skin, especially in the industry. You have to have thick skin.
Yes,
and you have to really, you know, I guess essentially stand out, but also know your job and know your knowledge. Right. And I think research will really go a long way. And it's the same with the music of things. When you do your research and you really look into the copyright. I mean, copywriting is the number one thing I would say for artists is copyright your stuff. I would even do copyright.gov, but if you do the third party, that's fine. Because a lot of people get ripped off. A lot of people, you know how it is in the industry. Even like learning about the most current things that's happened in the industry in the back in the day stuff that we're now learning about.
Yeah.
Most of it has been about signing bad contracts or copywritten stuff that hasn't been written under their name because, they had those, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I know some 360 deals do this where they would have you sign a contract. They'll, pay for everything, cover for everything, and do that as long as it's under their label name or their company name. And then you have to make it back with whatever you're earning. But then you miss the part where it's like, it's under their name. So where's the percentages in the revenue that you can get out of? So let's say you get out of that deal, you're not making money back from that because technically
they got to go through their fingers first,
so
right?
You know what they got to do? You know what they got to do? They got to re-release whatever they did in hopes that they're even able to, all depending on what kind of deal they sign, and re-release it under their own name to then put it out there in hopes it would give the same as what it did under the deal.
I think Ashanti tried to do that.
Exactly.
Right?
Ashanti did do that. I think, what did Justin Bieber do? I don't even know. It was a few artists that actually just started recently.
Yeah.
JoJo, I think she was talking a little bit about that. It's definitely a thing. And because I'm seeing artists talking about this, this is artists that are established, have been in the industry, in the game for a long time. And I'm hearing them saying how they kind of had to deal with, the back end of things.
A lot of the artists back in the days, a lot of people got jerked, A lot of people didn't have access to the information that we have access to now. And, everything, like you said, it's like everything is digital. And you could put something out and reach somebody in China right at this very moment. Where before that person had to be in your face, right? You had to really be outside and be in the street to really connect with the people. Right. Now, I still think that's a great thing. Look, we're all here right now. We're networking, we're talking. Yeah. You bond with people. You get to connect with people. Whereas now, the reason why people have short attention spans and everybody is so on to the next is because they don't really have that connection. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna scroll real quick and just go to the next person. Yeah. So they don't value the people like they used to back then. Yeah. Yes.
Even the audience is the attention span is way shorter. You got the phone.
Yes.
It's inevitable. What? Look at their phone the whole time.
Damn time.
Unless it's one of their friends. Or I guess
even if it is one of their friends, they probably still ain't looking. Okay,
are they your friend?
Listen, we going to end this interview, but I definitely enjoyed having you here. Yes. We gotta do part 2 and 3 with VeVe C.
There's so many things we haven't even gotten to yet.
I know. But we got them waiting, and we definitely you coming back. You coming back anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you coming back, chop it up. Tell people where they can support you, how they can follow you. Drop your socials.
So you can reach. So first of all, I'm Googleable. Okay. So VE, you know what I'm saying? Not the 2-1-1. I say that because I got hacked in the past on my IG. Ooh. And and I've actually, that's the reason why the Google thing is very important because I don't want people following the wrong things. So you can follow me on all my social media platforms. My Instagram is TheRealVeVec. Also, Home Cave Records, which is our label, is HOMECAVE Records. Legendary _ DJ Sean, and then Sean Navi _ that's my family's IG handles. You can Google pretty much VeVe C and see all of my content, my release music, all digital platforms, and some music that's going to come out soon as well. And I do have other pages as well, but mainly Instagram is where I'm active, and Facebook page. You can see all that, but that's where you can find me.
All right, y'all. So make sure y'all check VeVe C out. She got a lot out there. So go listen to her music that's out right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially Breeze, if you really want to get to know her and know what she represents and what she's about. But you want to hear Pume? I don't want to hear Pume.
Pume, Okay. No, Pume is.
Yes, and also stay in touch and make sure y'all follow her so y'all know what she has coming up next. Okay, so like I told y'all, stay connected, stay up. And we about to get up out of here. This is From the Ground Up. It's only one way to go from here.
One way.
And hold up.
Here.
But wait, there's more. Because she's about to go into the creator's box and do her thing and sign it and leave her tag and let people know that she was here. Let's get it.
All right. Let's do it, y'all.
All right, y'all ready? All right, let's get it.
All right, y'all. So this is a beginning to an end. For those who are tired of the haters and the fuck shit, yeah, this song is for y'all. So let's get it. Dark skies turn black, cover in the moonlight. Shit, fuck shit, had me in another fight. Running outside, you when I say it right. If I breathe in and out, you would cause a ruckus, can't even focus. 2021 put me through a whole lot of shit. Then you wanna run your mouth for that troll shit. Didn't I tell you before I'm the savage, bitch? Gamadon, that's why I called you Gamadon. Yapping that mouth out hot. Did the wrong turn, but I'm not pulling to your shit. Book to that's not rot in the way on your blight. The way you looking, you might wanna stop, bitch in front of the fam on the lot. Always try some shit, but the brain must have dropped to you. Keep trying me. Tired of this mofo's try me. Grand so stay strong and survival the fist. Fake ass friend wanna stay while I'm littest. Mom died then all the fake first got They said please stop when I only was bitten. But it's alright cause I know that I was kidding. This bullshit world when I be I'm getting tired. Tired of the bullshit. Getting where they fit in. Copycatting bitches. Y'all say a lot of big shit, but when I leave it be missing. Keep chatting with that distance. It's okay, cause I know how this goes. I am back in my toes. I ain't see this before. I am highs in my lows, and I say it's real slow to the back of my foes. I don't care. I am done. I'm through.
All right, so we got VeVe C in the building, and she is about
Check
to
it out.
sign that creator's box to let
It's
people
already
know.
enough. Just keep you back. Yo, welcome to the box where the real ones talk. FD Janelle P, where creators walk the walk. Step in the booth, let your soul unlock. No cap, just facts, let the cameras watch. Mic check, DJs, rappers, singers, and more. Sign the door like legends who came before. No judgment here, we respect your grind. From the 845 to the...
We hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel and listen to us on all streaming platforms.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.